This previous shuffle, I asked what the energy of the collective was. I got the ninth house, and Taurus, and then also South Node. And I sat here for a few minutes just trying to channel in what that meant. The ninth house is of the teacher, and Taurus is about what I have. So this is more of the fire element, adventurous, exploration, religion, spirituality, and then resisting it or creating a block for it, because the Taurus card, which is about 3D, grounded, practical, abundance, pentacles, values, traditions. This is Mars energy and this is Venus energy. This is fire and this is earth. The significance of these cards is that there is a South Node influence, which the South Node and the North Node just switched into Leo, which is South Node, and North Node is Aquarius. I mean, it's fitting that it is August, and Leo, being South Node, is about pushing or empowering, challenging, essentially, traditions, the old habits, the way things used to be, going up against the how do I feel about that? What do I believe? What are my ethics? What am I learning about myself? Spirituality, teaching, learning, the old ways that we did things, Hierophant energy, Taurus is Hierophant, bucking up against that. There's that intersecting. And the South Node is really trying to empower us to challenge those beliefs and where we sit with those. I also have my Marut cards out for archetypes because I wanted to look at the divine masculine energy and the divine feminine energy. You and your person, wherever you fall, you could be a divine masculine, hear about your feminine or a feminine energy. But I thought I would use the Marut deck archetype cards for that. And then also I've got Vibe About It, Rhea's decks, the graffiti decks, to kind of get an idea of what your person is thinking or doing, what's happening on their side of this energy, this inward focus, challenging your belief system, where you sit, what do you believe in? Are you acting? Do you behave, talk, act like what you believe? Do you self-sacrifice for something you don't believe just to make good for the collective or those outside of you? Let's start actually to get a finer idea of what this is about. I'm going to pull from this foretell deck. I am Jen. Welcome to Lady Tarot 911. Thanks for coming here. And if you did come here, that means that you manifested me to be here with you today and help you with clarity, guidance, information, or you were just bored and happened to see my channel, my pretty color cards, I don't know. But if you're here, hi. Welcome. So, higher self. This is the spirituality part of it. And that's perfect because it is challenging where you stand on that. Where do you voice blue? She's in blue. That's the throat chakra. Where do you voice your values the loudest? Your higher self watches over you, a timeless aspect of your soul that knows the way. When doubt clouds your vision, turn inward and ask, what insight does my higher self have to offer? What can basically your higher self see in these values? And the South Node Leo is very much about spotlighting. That is the current energy that's being spotlighted as of right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the masculine energy. What can you tell me, or what would you like me to tell the collective about the masculine energy at this time? What energy is the masculine energy in? Or my viewer's person? Because you don't have to be male to be in your masculine energy. You can have an overabundance of masculine, be a female, and you're learning how to balance out your feminine energy. Okay, splitting the deck. So, friends. They prefer to be friends first, prefer to establish a solid foundation. They keep romance for last. Again, there's those emotions, the love emotions, the emotions of self-love or of love of somebody else, repressed and kept down. I mean, how many generations, and this is true for all the masculines in my life, but I broke that chain, I guess, when I became a mom with my son and changed the way that I instilled healthy respect for emotions. I am a Cancer sign, so that comes easy for me. But how many generations went telling their sons, you're weak if you cry. It's not okay to cry. Stop crying. Suck it up. Be a big boy type of narrative. All that did was take that energy that needed to be cried out and repressed it and pushed it down. And then the next time pushed it down. And then the next time pushed it down. And then you get this volcano because of repressed energy. They're in the energy of being around a lot of friends, maybe toxic friends, maybe good friends. The masculine energy is in this just a friend mode. Also in Okay, the divorcee. There might be a divorce that's happening or a change up of the emotions regarding somebody. There could be somebody in the middle between two people getting a divorce. They've been through a divorce, was in a long-term live-in relationship, currently dealing with a divorce or breakup. Could be any of the possibilities of what energy they're in right now. Let's look at the archetype energy for the feminine. That's interesting. That slipped and fell. Maybe they feel like this relationship or this understanding is real slippery right now. They're trying to get a grasp on it, a hold on some type of knowledge or understanding of the greater sense of spirituality, the inward focus, and maybe what their purpose is or what they're supposed to be doing right now with their lives, why they're here. Let's see. All right. Okay. So feminine energy, the sex worker, discover the places in your life where you are selling out your talents, power yourself for personal or financial gain. This to me is not literal. This is very much a metaphoric take on this of basically selling yourself short. I talked about this yesterday when I talk about all my reads are connected. They are. I talked about giving up too early or being so burnt out that you just kind of you gave it a little bit of a shot but then backed off. To me, it was about the fact that I was selling myself short, that I didn't give myself enough credit, or I gave in and allowed certain behaviors in myself or in others. This is about selling yourself short of how incredible you really are, how important you are, your high value. The masculine energy needs to discover that as well, about their value and how important they are. We work together, kind of like I was talking about yesterday, the lifeguard and the tide. They need each other, just like the masculine and the feminine energy need each other. So right now, feminine energy is reflecting, thinking, having intuitive downloads about what their value is, how valuable they truly are. Okay, and then the boss lady, look at that. Two opposite dynamics, selling yourself short and the boss lady. This is about the in-between and where do I lie? And I'm talking about lay, not lie as in sneaky, deceptive, but where do I lie in between these two data points? These would be data points. And would it be that you're selling yourself short and don't believe in yourself? Or are you at a place where you feel a promotion within yourself or within a job, a side hustle, some creative talent that you are taking on, climbing the corporate ladder and gaining the respect of others? There is the in-between of where do you lie in between these two as far as how you feel about your importance and your value. Let's expand on that. For masculine, ego fishing, using dating apps for validation. Okay. So they might be going through cycles of getting into relationships, getting out of relationships due to boredom, then needing validation. They want to feel based on popularity, validation outside themselves, needing that to feel important because they can't find it within themselves. So ego fishing, robbery in progress, someone in your circle is trying to steal from you. Friends. There is some type of friend group or friends who are trying to steal from them. Be careful who you surround yourself with. This is something that could have happened in the past. This is something that maybe they could have found out about, maybe a partnership or a business partnership that they were in that now they're separating from or they're getting divorced from because of some type of outside validation that they went towards, which has to do with stability within a home potentially, or in an establishment, in a relationship, or any business partnership, in a job, because this is 31 card, which is a 4. This is a 4 and 4, so 13 card, which is a 4. Okay, so 44 might be relevant to this read. If you look it up, it'll give you more information. If you just Google angel numbers 44, it's a master number. So using data, dating, sorry, why did I say data? So using data, so maybe they're collecting information on people that they're dating, like going through so many people, collecting information, or dating, getting the validation, becoming bored, not the right one, discard. It's somewhat narcissistic behavior. I'm not diagnosing anybody, even though I am a registered nurse. I don't diagnose anybody. I'm just saying that the behavior is very relevant to that. Somebody has or is in the process of taking from, stealing from your person. It could have been just a friend that was the culprit. Only me. Oh, inner challenge, getting better daily, self-mastery, focus. I compete with no one but myself, being happy with who you are. So this is a lot about learning the same type of that crisscross, learning who they are. But when I got this card, immediately I thought the friend that robbed from your person, maybe got in the middle of a relationship, broke up your relationship, only wanted the attention on themselves. They only wanted them to be the spotlight in your person's life. They wanted to be the focus of attention. They wanted them to move on from whatever situation or happiness they were in and focus on only them. Another possibility is they were in a toxic relationship, business situationship or partnership, some type of romantic or platonic relationship, and they discovered this toxicity, broke off from it, and now they're in this energy of learning about self-love, and they're maybe isolated and taking on this, what I want, who am I have three more. So exit strategy. So maybe something that's going on where they're trying to figure out exactly how this divorce is going to work, how the separation, or they're in a Two of Swords type of energy where they're trying to figure out if this is a pathway that they want to take to divorce themselves from a situation, a job, a location. When I was talking about stability, it could be about leaving a home. There's documents in here, so this could also be some legal contract. Maybe they're in a contract, maybe they're wanting to get out of a contract, and they're trying to find a way to be able to do that. Okay, what else? Distraction plays, deliberate misdirection, distraction from the main issue, hiding the truth, or diverts attention. Could be these group of friends or this relationship they were in, a partner or a business partner, just a friend, somebody that they're with currently or that they are looking at getting away from. Could pull some type of poor me, making them feel guilty. The friend or the partner that they're with makes them feel guilty about what kind of dad they are, or what happened in the past, what they did to them, or making them feel guilty because there was an agreement or a contract and they might be wanting to break it. But they could just flat out seduce them with sex, drugs, alcohol, partying, good times, money, you name it. And they try and wrap back when your person ends up heading in a different direction or starting to learn about themselves. They might have hit rock bottom and then coming back up, that 8, because this is an 8 card. It's a 116 card, which is an 8. So as they hit rock bottom, as they try to come up and do better for themselves and reach for more and ascend, what happens is it cuts right through this only me. This person distracts them with some type of maneuver, manipulation, bribery, blackmail. Maybe there's something that this person knows about your person and is telling them, if you leave me, I'm going to expose you. There will be consequences. And so they've got this game, this strategy. Sorry about that, guys. I ran out of storage. So coming back. The last card for the masculine is Milkshake. So attractive, you got people looking you up and down. You're unique and special. So this could be your person who's very attractive, or maybe this person, this friend who wants their focus to be just completely on them, could be obsessed with your person, or because this is a 23 card, which is a 5, the change up of that, maybe your person is looking at this friend who maybe interfered and causes distraction. The attraction towards going towards that toxic situation is dying down. And this one was supposed to cross, so reactive abuse. I do think that probably that is what is happening with either their partner provokes or manipulates another into reacting emotionally or aggressively, then uses the reaction against them. That would be a part of the distraction play and a part of the guilt. So the divine feminine, let's look at where they're at as far as expanding on the selling yourself short and boss lady between those two. Let's see what is currently the energy for divine feminine. What message do you want me to give the collective, my viewer? We'll just take what we took for divine masculine. So insurance, the divine feminine want a plan. They want a solid structure. They want stability. They want commitment to building a future, building a life with a partner or with themselves. What else? Former colleague. You could have worked with your person or worked alongside them, were in some type of relationship, marriage, and were working together to build, or at least the feminine thought they were. This could also be, you could have worked with them at a job, actual co-workers, employment, or even potentially this could have been a boss. Either your person was your boss or you were your person's boss. Over their heads, too much for them to handle. It relates to the spirituality and the knowledge that the divine feminine has been gaining is a little much to the divine masculine in one way or the other because of them not being awakened. This could be where divine feminine is really getting over, maybe in childhood or just with your emotions. Maybe you were told that you were too much, or somebody was told that they were overly dramatic or whatever, and you're realizing that no, you're not too much, you're real, you're authentic. You just have to find that within yourself, find your value. Friend of a friend, this is a friend of a friend or acquaintance of a friend or someone you know, indirect relationship. It could be that the divine masculine, maybe you know this person that they potentially left or has been involved with, left you for, or I'm hearing you getting knowledge about somebody that your person was involved with that is a friend of maybe somebody that you called a friend or that are their friends within their friend group around the same age. more or less the same age as you. Take a few years, might be around your social network of friends. So again, friends, there's a lot of friends in this reading. Maybe there's been clashes between who is truly a friend, finding the value in the people around you. Maybe you and your person were friends. This looks like Mean Girls. A lot of this energy that's coming in is really like the masculine energy overtaking for some reason. Let me take one more card. I want to find out because this looks like Mean Girl group, which would be more of like this friends. Overrated. It's really not worth it. Overpriced. The quality doesn't match the value. This is not the feminine energy. Why? Here, hold on just a second. I don't understand. What is this? What is this about for the divine feminine? Because that's weird that that energy doesn't feel like the divine feminine energy. Can you guys see that? Hopefully that's on camera. Yeah, you can. Oh, nice. Tell me more, universe. Explain why I'm getting that kind of energy. Maybe it's, oh, I get it. I know. Okay, I'm going to turn this over because I asked universe directly to explain. So I usually pull from the bottom of the deck, which is more the 5D underneath the surface. But before I do that, I don't know what it is. But what I'm getting is that, yeah, if you're the divine feminine energy, that energy is realizing the no more push pull, chase me, choose me type of game, the competition. An empress or pre-empress energy, a divine feminine energy who's ascending is not going to compete or is not going to vie for somebody's attention because she doesn't go outside herself for that attention. She finds her validation within herself, and being popular, being picked is so surface level. It's beyond her. She's so much more advanced than that. And it could be that that is a part of the cycle. This current energy is divine feminine realizing ever took place here. You can all have that. I don't need the toxic friends. I don't need the toxic situation. I don't need the toxic person. I don't need to be chosen. I don't need validation from anybody else. And so playing this game of pick me, divine feminine is getting out of that energy. If they were in that energy for a while, chasing what they've already created, maybe between you and your person, and it from this side's energy, it looks like friends or a friend. Feminine energies came in between you and your person. If you're the feminine watching this, I mean, you could be the masculine watching this as well. Again, it doesn't matter female or male. Tarot and oracles don't determine gender, but this is I'm not doing this anymore. This is trying to be a part of the friend group, one of the popular girls, be a pick me girl type of energy is over. I said that I had shuffled this one because I was trying to look for an answer in this deck, but then it came to me intuitively. So what is this? So mischievous. This is about mischievous. This is going to be escapism from interference. What did I just say? Oh, look at that. But why mischievous? It could be, yeah, escaping from, cutting off, severing yourself. The divine feminine energy is severing themselves from any type of toxicity that interferes with their own value, their own path, their own vision. You're aligned, you're ascending, and you have a purpose and a trajectory that you're going. And there's no more playing these games or focused on this person, this situation, or what's happening here. You are cutting off from that and cutting off from any type of interference that pulls you away from your focus. You can tell, I mean, with the glasses, she's focused. No more of this low value, selling yourself short. You are providing your own stability and your own foundation, and almost like in a rebel sense, you are doing it your way and you're doing it for you, is what I get from that. Okay, so that's currently what the energy is reflecting right now. Let me pull a couple tarot cards on where this is going for the masculine and where this is going for the feminine, and then I'll pull an advice card and we'll be done. And that'll be today's energy focused on the divine feminine and masculine energy. So universe, what other messages do you want to give me as far as where is this heading for divine masculine in the month of August? I'm still kind of focused on the month of August because we're so newly into it, but where is this heading for divine masculine? Oh, 10 of Cups, nice. A fulfillment of emotion is what is the ultimate goal. Okay, 2 of Pentacles. Was it worth it is what I focused on this card. Finding out where true happiness belongs. Was it worth it to juggle different situations, different friend groups, play games, drama, chaos, all this interference, abuse, distraction, all of it? Was it worth it when it came to the divine masculine is really getting a sense of what their past choices. So as I was straightening this one is starting to turn. So we'll find out what this is about in just a second. But the choices that they've made, have they been in the best interest of the highest emotional happiness and finding home, a part of them that feels like they belong? Was it worth it to juggle and adapt and be flexible to all of these chaotic situations versus just making a decision and deciding what they wanted. But because of yesterday's read, where it talked a lot about like yesify, so pacifying with yes, going with whatever other people, friend groups, platonic or relationships, situationships, going with that has not proved to be what has been in the best interest of the divine masculine. And this is what they're evaluating. This is what is being taught. They're going inward and learning about what they believe and being taught about this through situations with these other people. This was turning, and I don't know why, but because of what they thought the direction that they were going was the correct direction, and they felt like it was the best thing at that time, they're learning that those choices or lack of choices being based on ego has them regretting quite a bit. What are they regretting? What are they regretting at this time? What is the divine masculine regretting at this time? Not going within and being able to recover and heal from past hurts, or this is something that they need to do, that they're learning that they need to do. Yeah, healing from maybe where their devotion and loyalty has been placed is proving to be maybe not the wisest. It could be that they've been betrayed, or that they're really starting to get emotions about and really understand who truly cares about them, who truly was there for them, who's their rock, and why did they choose this? Because of lack of love for themselves, lack of motivation. I mean, what they need to go within and restore for themselves through answers of why and where this led them, this 9 card where this led them, and how to maybe choose different choices moving forward, or how they're going to heal from this and pull back and reset, essentially. Now, for the divine feminine, where is this going for her? For you, maybe if you're the viewer, a lot of the viewers are the divine feminine energy. So for you, you in your head, it could be that you're trying to heal yourself from overthinking. There's a victory overtaking this. You're getting past and healing any type of betrayal that you have been focused on or couldn't stop thinking about in regards to this. Do you have perfect that? And that is the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so then when I was straightening the deck, oh my gosh, this one flew off like that and was like sliding off like that. So I take these things seriously when they happen, because obviously it's meant to be that way. So we'll grab that other one for you. That's pretty perfect. But this Ace of Pentacles has been showing up in a lot of reads because you are focused on your career, the boss lady, right? You're focused on your true value and not selling yourself short. You could be focused on your career or your side hustle, on just yourself, improving yourself. I look at money as not just pentacles and money, but as abundance and investment. So new beginning of investment, of where you place your investment. So pretty much doing the same thing on both sides, but this is where they had invested loyalty, and yours is where you invested focus, your attention. And loyalty is changing on this side and focus is changing on this side. So this, as this was heading off, what is this? Oh, isn't that interesting? Hierophant, Taurus card. Yeah, this was heading off this way, so I'm going to bring it in like this, which will balance out this beautifully. These are teaching moments, the South Node, where we used to be in regards to our expectations, our traditions, our cultures, what we believed in, and a reevaluation of which way we're going to moving forward. Again, it'll be, where is the divine masculine going to start placing their loyalty, hopefully within themselves to begin with, and then the true people that support them, love them, and that are there for them, they'll be able to wake up to that through this type of awakening. And for the divine feminine, continue to grow herself and your legacy that you're going to leave, your prosperity. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's very balanced. Let's get a message from Mark's deck, this deck right here from Divine, just a guidance message. But yeah, that was beautifully balanced, and that's the point, right? That's what the universe is all about and wants us to be doing, is balancing within us, because that's when you become the 4 queens or the 4 kings, and then thus become the emperor and the empress in your own life, within your own self and outside yourself. What you project outward comes back to you, and vice versa. I'm going to take the top card this time because it started to slide as well. This is your message: transformational relationships. Surround yourself with good people. Talked about that here, and you'll find that previously unimaginable horizons will open up to you. That is, and that's talking about the eclipse too. That is perfect, because it talks about the relationships in friend groups and within the divine masculine themselves. And this talks about relationships with yourself and within yourself. There's a learning about how to manage these relationships that have come to the forefront. So beautiful. Love it. Hopefully this resonated, or a piece of it resonated with you, because again, you manifested me here for either this confirmation or clarity, or just support that the path that you're on is the correct path. You're exactly where you are supposed to be. All right, you guys, have a great night, and I will see you on the next read.